We started in Shanghai, moved on to Medellin, and now World Archery travels to Turkey for Stage 3. With temperatures rising on the Mediterranean, competition began heating up. Tricky winds leading to upsets. The bigger the names, the harder they fell, making way for new faces. The scenery can be distracting, but those who survived elimination came from more than a few snapshots from the Turkish Riviera, where there's so much to soak in. But the sightseeing would have to wait, the work coming first as the river continues flowing on the World Cup Tour. These three Dutchmen out to do some damage and get a little payback in the compound men's gold medal match with the United States. Ruben Blyendal, Peter Elzinga, and Mike Schlosser out to avenge their loss in the gold medal match at Stage 2 Medellin to these three amigos. Bridger Deaton, Braden Gelantine, and Rio Wild not only won gold in Colombia, they'd also taken top honors at Stage 1 in Shanghai. However, after shooting the first 18 arrows on Konyaaltı Beach in Antalya, the Americans were down by 2 with just 6 arrows to go. Rio Wild tries to kickstart a comeback with a 10. Bridger Deaton backs him up with another strike.
Another X, good job.
Another X.
And Braden Gelantine keeps the run going. XXX for the USA. But the Netherlands has plenty of firepower. Mike Schlosser is the reigning world champion. Ruben Blyendal's 27th in the world.
9,7.
And of course, Peter Elzinga's the gold medalist from Medellin, where he broke through after 8 years to win his first World Cup title. The Dutch doing their best to maintain a 1-point edge midway through the fourth end. But without warning, things start to unravel for the U.S. Rio's release sends that arrow off target and sends a buzz through the crowd.
Strong shot, Bridger.
The 20-year-old Bridger Deaton delivers with a shot that's solid gold. And Braden follows up with a heat-seeking missile that is right on target. Now the Netherlands needs 27 to tie, 28 to win on their final 3 shots. Schlosser gets the ball rolling,
2 shots to go.
handing the torch to Ruben Blyendal. He's just a little off center with his shot. So Peter needs a 9 to finish off the Americans and avenge last month's loss in South America. He goes one better. Peter putting the final shot right down the middle, setting off a celebration. Since Stage 4 in Poland last summer, the USA had won 3 straight men's team gold medals. But this was no day at the beach for the Americans. Their string of victories snapped by the Dutch, who had gone 2 years without a World Cup medal in team competition. Schlosser, Elzinga, and Blyendal team up in Turkey to win this heavyweight rematch.
Ja, dat is mooi. Dat is een tijd geleden voor mij.
It's been a long time since we won a gold medal, and it's fantastic to work and shoot with these professionals.
Met deze mannen te mogen schieten en te werken, dat is fantastisch.
Antalya has hosted a stage of the Archery World Cup Tour 9 times. The beachfront venue, one of the world's most unique settings for a major sporting event.
As the World Archery President, I'm very happy being together with many of our athletes from more than 50 countries all around the world, here again in beautiful Antalya. We have here for another World Cup stage finals on the beach. This is also a very interesting place for our archers, I am sure.
These places are absolutely amazing. The sea, the sun, and all the people here are fantastic.
The thing that makes it different is the wind. It's a little bit tough sometimes, and also the sun. It's really sunny here and it's hot.
Here on the venue of the final, there is every time wind from the right, but we know about that. We have the training field that is in the exactly condition, so the sign is the same between the fields. So it's not something to pay attention.
Of course, every archer, I think, dislikes wind a lot. But shooting on the beaches, that's beautiful. This tournament is, I think, one of the nicest and best World Cups to come to. They have it all together. Everything is here and nothing goes wrong.
This is the most difficult stage because everyone is here. All the teams from Asia, Europe, and America are here, so that's why it's the hardest for me.
Belgium's best would be put to the test here on the beach in Antalya. Sarah Priels and Michael Colway joining forces for the mixed team gold medal matchup with a couple of big-time shooters from Colombia. Sarah Lopez and Camilo Cardona, both just 19, would battle Belgium for the top prize. And the battle was going Belgium's way after the first two ends, Colombia trailing by 3 midway through the match. A year ago, Sarah Lopez burst upon the scene in Antalya and was out to relive some past glory. Sarah sticks a 10, hoping to ignite a comeback. Cardona comes up with a 9, and Colombia's still in business. But Colombia needs help, and Belgium is not inclined to offer any. Colway counters Sarah's shot with a 10 of his own, and Sarah Priels puts one in the 10 ring too. The lead moves to 4. Lopez unloads a 9, placing a little more pressure on her teammate. But Cardona comes through with a clutch shot to keep Colombia's hopes alive. But they still need help. That 9 puts added pressure on Sarah Priels, who shoots high. Back-to-back 9s for Belgium, dropping the lead back down to 3. It's an uphill battle for Colombia, a seemingly comfortable cushion for Belgium, especially with just 4 arrows to go for gold. Lopez bounces back with a big shot that finds the center of the target, and she is pumped up. When Cardona comes through again, Colombia's got something cooking. Belgium's got to answer. And they do. Michael makes his move. But Sarah doesn't follow her partner's lead, so the lead is down to a deuce, 2 arrows to go. Lopez unloads her last shot, and it drifts into the 9 ring. That's a half-hearted high 5, but Colombian hearts start beating again after another clutch shot from Cardona. Still Belgium's up 3, 2 to shoot. Victory seems almost certain after another 10. All Priels needs is 8 to win, but she goes 2 better and stakes her claim on the gold, awaiting the winner of this mixed team matchup. Belgium fends off Colombia at stage 3 Antalya to take top honors. Lopez and Cardona settling for silver under the sizzling Turkish sun. That 3-point margin established in the first end turns out to be the margin of victory.
Plutôt très content.
We are really happy. We already won the bronze in Medellin last year. We aren't afraid of any team in particular. We know we can reach top level. We're really happy, especially with Antalya's conditions. The loudest cheers of the entire weekend might have been for Yeşim Bostan, the 19-year-old Turk competing in her first World Cup event and reaching the compound bronze medal match in her home country. A big cheering section eagerly anticipating Bostan's rematch with Germany's Janine Meissner, who had lost to Bostan just a few weeks before stage 3. Meissner, also 19 years old, competing in her first World Cup tournament. She'd already beaten Albina Loganova, among others, during the elimination rounds. We pick up the match after 3 ends, with Meissner trying to protect a 3-point lead established early on in this match. Bostan's still in contention, but a wild shot into the sixth ring jeopardizes her chances of getting back into the game. When Janine Meissner paints the center circle, she paints Yashim into a corner. The Turk bounces back and battles back, and she actually gets a point back when Natalie nails a 9. But Bostan knows she's got to be just about perfect from this point on, and nobody's perfect. Meissner now has a chance to put this match out of reach, but settles for a 6-point edge with 3 shots to go. It's 109-103 on the scoreboard as we head to the 5th and possibly final end. Bostan's shooting well, just not well enough to make a charge. Certainly not with Janine Meissner upping the ante with yet another 10. The lead now up to 7. Yashim puts one in the 10 ring, but with Meissner striking pay dirt on her first 2 shots, the chances of a Turk winning on native soil are fading fast. Bostan finishes strong with a solid 9, not far off the line. However, Meissner needs just 3 points to wrap this up. The 19-year-old does Deutschland proud, delivering the shot that seals the deal. It's a great debut on the World Cup scene for Janine Meissner, who's sure to take a big jump in the world rankings and the World Cup rankings, where she now has a shot at qualifying for the finals in Switzerland this September. Meissner makes it look easy, pulling away to a 7-point win for the bronze here at Stage 3 Antalya.
Bostan of Turkey, our finalists.
The women's gold medal match just as intriguing, with Russia's Natalia Avdieva trying to keep a good run going. She beat Ivana Budin and Yashim Bostan to qualify for the big show and would now face Iraq's Fatima Almashadani. This 16-year-old prodigy has no dedicated practice facility in her own home country, but remarkably found a way to navigate the waters here in Antalya, get through eliminations, and become one of only 2 women left standing. She's still standing after 3 ends, tied with Avdieva at 83 all. On to the 4th end, where Fatima's first arrow is good for 10 more points. And she actually moves ahead after the Russian leaves her shot just left of center. Almashadani steps up to the line and follows suit with a 9 of her own. That presents an opportunity for Avdieva, who can take the lead back with a 10. Cannot cash in. So once again, the score is tied. The Iraqi phenom with a very quick trigger finger finishes up with 9 more points, so once again, Avdieva can move back in front. Once again, Natalia answers with a 9, and it's all even after 4 ends.
It's going to be the final end.
We're all tied up, 110 apiece. Almashadani had already knocked off Jamie Van Etta, Sarah Lopez, and Alejandra Usquiano. Could she pull off one more upset? The final 3 arrows would tell the story. Fatima finds the 9 ring with her first shot of the 5th end, and that puts her at the mercy of the 25-year-old Russian, who shows no mercy. Avdieva's dead center and takes an ever so slight lead that grows a little bit bigger when Almashadani leaves her next shot even further left. Avdieva's got the momentum now and grabs control with another pinpoint shot. The lead is up to 5, just 1 arrow to go. Fatima makes an adjustment, but that doesn't help. It puts her in a precarious position, with Natalia Avdieva needing only 7 to win. And win she does in resounding fashion. Then 9 was more than enough to clinch the gold medal, a nice big paycheck, and 25 World Cup points. But what a performance by the 16-year-old Fatima Almashadani from Iraq. She picks up 21 World Cup points and gains a great deal of respect from the worldwide archery community. Though she faded down the stretch, Almashadani opened a lot of eyes this week in Antalya, but on this day at the beach, Russia's Natalia Avdieva is the big winner. I always shoot very fast. When you shoot fast, you think about nothing, and it's the best job, to work fast. After Shanghai and Medellin, Erica Jones of the U.S. occupied the top spot in the World Cup standings, 37 points. After stage 3, she's still on top, but now Natalia Avdieva is tied for 6th and is in contention for a spot in the World Cup finals this September.
My name is Martin Damsbrook, shooting for Denmark. I've been shooting for 20 years now. In my match with Braden last year in Antalya, it was on the practice field. Braden's bow broke. He has an equipment failure, and instead of not being able to shoot the match, he borrowed my bow and shot a few ends on the practice field, and luckily we had the match anyway. If it was a revenge with Braden in Paris, I don't think so. We had a really close match. For once, it was my day, my luck. It was a great day for me. How I mix the fair play thing and the competition. Sometimes you need to be aggressive, yes. Sometimes you need to be nice. I think it's all about which personality you have, and it's all about yourself. You have to shoot your own tens and not about what the other guys are shooting. So you should be more aggressive into yourself and put in some better shooting if there's anything. I don't play much other sports, but I think the fair play spirit is a big thing with archery, because we see each other so often, like more or less every month during the whole year. So of course you help each other out, and I think that counts for most of the archers here. The fair play prize for me, actually it wasn't anything that we expected. Like when he borrowed my bow, it was just, well, borrow this, and I've borrowed stuff from other people's sons once in a while. So it wasn't even in the calculation. It's just a bonus. I think it's good for the sport to show other people also, and of course it's cool to have it, but I think all of us is willing to help people if they need a hand.
After winning a team gold medal in the morning, Mike Schlosser was back on the hunt for a bronze medal in the afternoon. Only 20 years old, this dynamic Dutch archer is the reigning world champion after winning the title back in October just up the beach in Belgium. Ron van der Hoff in the coach's box for this marquee matchup with Italy's Sergio Pagni, the indoor world champion coronated last February in France. The only athlete to repeat as a World Cup gold medalist, Pagni posed a major obstacle for Schlosser, who is 15 years younger. That being said, Schlosser was sitting in the driver's seat after 3 ends, building an impressive 4-point lead. That really gave Sergio something to shoot at, and he comes out strong to start the 4th end. But very little phases the young man from the Netherlands. He puts another hole in the 10 ring. Pagni puts his next shot on the line to ring up 10 more points. But Magic Mike isn't about to let off the gas pedal. The lead stays at 4. But just for a moment, Pagni patiently waits for just the right moment, but leaves his 3rd shot just a little low. Schlosser knows better than to pass up an opportunity like this. It's 10-10-10 to finish the end and build an even bigger lead. With 3 left in the quiver, Sergio's got a big hill to climb, with Schlosser now holding a 5-point advantage. The onus is clearly on the great Italian, but try as he might, Sergio could not come up with the shots he needed. he would fall even further behind, trailing by 6 after Schlosser continued his relentless march towards the bronze medal. Still, Sergio Pagni has a lot of pride, his perseverance paying off with a strike on his second-to-last shot of the match. With a little help from his young opponent, the lead would dip down to 5 with 1 arrow left to shoot. Sergio finishes with style, taking his best shot till the very end. But Magic Mike Schlosser is just too much. It's a commanding performance from start to finish as he puts the match away and wins by a wide 5-point margin. The next great thing from the Netherlands was almost perfect, leaving a point out there in the first, second, and fifth ends to win his second medal at Stage 3 Antalya. The final tally from Konialty, Mike Schlosser 147, Sergio Pagni 142.
And the most motivated country in the world when it comes to our sport.
No Korean archer had ever won a men's gold medal in compound, but Choi Young-hee was out to change history at Stage 3 Antalya. The 29-year-old had already upset Peter Elzinga and survived a semifinal shoot-off with Mike Schlosser. So in his mind, anything was possible as he prepared to do battle with India's Rajat Chauhan, who was just as impressive during the week, beating both Braden Galantine and Sergio Pagni by 4 points apiece. After finishing 9th at Stage 1 in Shanghai, Chauhan would now compete for the biggest prize of his career. Fast forward to the 4th end, with the Korean holding a commanding 4-point lead. After a shaky start, Chauhan settled in during the 3rd end with 3 10s in a row. Could he reel the Korean back in? Only if he could keep shooting 10s. But Chauhan needed his competitors' cooperation. Choi Young-hee not about to comply. The Indian archer keeps his composure, takes his time, takes dead aim, and that's on the line for 10 more points. Still, Mr. Choi is not giving an inch. He's on a mission to put as many arrows as possible into that little yellow ring in the middle of that big target. Whether it was the wind or the pressure or frustration, Chauhan finally falters. He can ill afford an 8 at this point. Not when Choi Young-hee is hotter than Korean chili pepper. It's a great group that blows the lead up to 6 big ones with only 3 shots to go in the match. To be honest, it's an almost insurmountable lead, an almost impossible challenge for Rajat Chauhan to overcome. And yet, he keeps taking his best shot and comes up with one of his best shots. Choi Young-hee turns out to be human after all, dipping down into the 9 ring. With the lead down to 5, Chauhan threatens to bring it down to 4, which is exactly the case after another 9 from Mr. Choi, who has to respect his opponent all the more for the way he finished this match. 3 great shots by Rajat Chauhan, making the final score much more respectable. Chauhan left to wonder if only he'd been on his game the first 2 ends. That's when it got away from him, allowing Choi Young-hee to grab a lead he would never relinquish. Everyone watching witnessed history in the making, as Choi Young-hee would indeed become the first man from Korea to win a World Cup gold medal in compound competition. For a nation long known for its dominance in recurve, this victory is a giant step forward as Korea now becomes a major player in compound. And for the rest of the world, it sends a strong message loud and clear.
너무 기쁘고 일단은 그리고
I am so happy at this moment because it's the first time that a Korean man is in a compound final in a World Cup stage. And I won the gold medal. So, this is unforgettable for me, as for all Korean archers as well.
금메달을 또 딸 수 있어서 너무 기쁘고 행복합니다.
Following the first two stages, Americans and Frenchmen dominated the leaderboard, and the race for 7 spots opened at the World Cup finals. Now, after stage 3, both Choi and Chohan are in the loop for Lausanne. It will all come down to stage 4 in Poland, where we'll have all the coverage for you on Archery TV. Till next time, so long from Antalya.